This is John Paul. I'm coming to you from Tokyo, Japan, and I wanted to cover this article. Well, I've kind of covered it before, but what I'm doing here is I'm following the media and seeing how they're reacting to Johnny Depp posting a video on Instagram. Now, I'm finding when I check all these somewhat mainstream articles, I wouldn't quite consider them mainstream, but they're not like articles that are written by people like me or people who have their own website. They're written by companies who are trying to grow and trying to be big and trying to have a voice in the media. So they all seem to be kind of playing the middle. Now, Cinemablend does mention that Johnny has some people backing him up, but basically they kind of stick to the very straight story and they don't say stuff like, well, Amber's probably wrong. She's got all this evidence against her as the abuser. She's probably going down. They just kind of report the news, which is not what I'm into. I like to see people take a side and take the side of the person they think is right, and in this case it should be Johnny. Johnny Depp joins Instagram in the middle of Amber Heard court drama, rehabbing image. Not sure exactly what they mean by rehabbing image, and I don't think they explain it. Depp is using his social media platform to face the music as it were. This and other teasy posts indicated Johnny Depp was working on a project in isolation, but that turns out to be a song called Isolation. You can also check out the full song with Jeff Beck on his Instagram page. And I would, it's pretty good actually. Meanwhile, social media is great with connecting with the fans, and that's something that makes sense for Johnny Depp and his image right now. So they're saying, Johnny's trying to connect with the fans. He's not actually putting out a serious message because he's concerned about people, about what's going on right now in the world. It's, for his image. That's all it is, and I have to disagree. Look, like I said, when someone is a Beatles fan, they mention John Lennon, they mention something that's close to them, I think he meant it in this case. He could have done anything. Like I said just before, we have Amber Heard baking bread, driving around with no pants, saying silly things. She could have had a serious message, but she didn't. We've got these idiotic celebrities singing Imagine. They could have just had a regular message. They didn't. Johnny Depp did. So no reason to say something like he's just trying to connect with the fans. And by the way, I don't think that's like in a good way connect with the fans. I think they mean he's just trying to use this to make a connection right now. The actor is currently embroiled in a legal drama with Amber Heard that has taken to the courts. One suit in particular is a defamation suit that Depp's legal team filed after Amber Heard wrote an opt in the Washington Post alleging domestic abuse, which we know to be 99.9% bullshit. Meanwhile, some actors have spoken out in defense of Johnny Depp, including former co-stars like Javier Bardem and Penelope Cruz. He also spoke out about a graphic finger injury he says occurred because Amber Heard was drunk and throwing liquor at him. In light of some of this information, some fans have been encouraging toward the actor online. The point is, I think that these articles just kind of play the middle too much. I wish they would take the side of Johnny just a little bit more. There are some that do that, but the majority of them, the ones that are kind of in the mainstream or mainstream wannabes, you could say, are not taking his side so much. They're just reporting it pretty bland. Anyway, you guys let me know what you think down below. I'm doing shoutouts, special thanks, things like that. Having kind of a rough week because of you know what. I'm at home, and that means I'm a lot busier than when I'm at work. I guess I'll explain that sometimes, just take my word for it. Do a shout out. Shout out to Blue. Blue said I'm going to be a full-fledged Depp head, which won't happen. I'm not going to be some huge Depp fan. I think Johnny Depp's a cool guy, especially since he's a Beatles fan now. That's a big part of it. I've liked him, as an actor, along with other actors from his generation, because that was right when I was growing up and starting to watch TV and get into movies. But I'm not going to be a Depp head. Not at all. Sorry. Just saying. But what's right's right, and we're going to defend him till the very end. Okay. Rambling. Please subscribe. I gotta say at the end of the video, or what else would I say? See you next time.